I mean, I haven't seen Lawso and Thanos in the same room. Have you?
I have not. I've seen Lawso in a room. I guess I've seen Thanos on a movie screen. So you never know. You never know. Looks like we are off. Both of our runners starting off World 1 in 1-1, getting that mushroom. Eventually going to be working their way up to a leaf for 1F.
I was still in rando mode. I was thinking, whoa, wow, the first level is the actual first level in the game.
Oh, nice
How about
randomizer, Fred.
What are the odds? Followed by the second level in the game.
So you see, looks like Horsedad not doing a turn back, also doing a little bit of a different strat to get a different card there at the end of 1-2. Normally, if you're running at P speed, when you hit that star or hit that card, you'll get a star, and you do want to avoid getting 3 of a kind, as it does lead to getting a little bit of an extra fanfare and all that. So you'll see runners at one point in time doing something to kind of avoid getting that star card. Normally, you see both runners with a very nice quick leaf there. Very even Steven here in World 1, as probably will be expected. You're getting all the insights here. 1-2, it actually is the second level in the game. Crazy stuff.
Seeing some great sync from these players right now.
Had slight little differences there. You see Horsedad with just slightly beating that stage is a little faster. There's a couple things that worked out a little better for him, but it's so tight so far, and it will be. Even getting the same Hammer Brother movements, this is unreal.
Horsedad stuck in the sky. What is your stream frozen?
Yeah, getting it synced up here. Oh. Well, they're both done with 1-6, I think. Alright, so we're going to see a little difference here. Because of the spot on the map that the Hammer Bro ended up for Lawso, he's going to be able to pick up this Fire Flower from that block. You see Horsedad unable to grab a Fire Flower there. That is going to save a slight bit of time for Lawso, as he won't have that little pause on the airship to pick up the Fire Flower. But overall, these guys are obviously neck and neck as we head into the World 1 airship.
And as you saw there, the World 1 King has been turned into a dog, and I've been told that he is a very good boy.
They're good boys. I would, if you got turned into a dog, would you even want to turn back? Think about, you could, go back to having to rule a country that's made up of 7 stages, or you could be a dog for the rest of your life.
Dang, it's not even close.
It's not, exactly. You're taking dog every day of the week.
I mean, just throw me a frisbee and let me run.
Shoutouts to Frank Uzi. We see both runners going for fire kills here. Looks like Horsedad able to wrap up that kill a little quicker with a 332 wand grab. Lawso just behind with a 333. As expected, really solid World 1s from both runners.
Yeah, awesome times. Haven't really seen any slip-ups or signs of nerves, so this should shape up to be a great race.
Yeah, World 1, it looks pretty straightforward, especially when you see runners of this caliber doing it, but man, there's so much stuff that can trip you up in this world. It's honestly a lot harder to optimize than it looks, because there's so many things that the game throws at you in these tiny little stages to try and teach you all these new mechanics. So really well done by both runners there. So a little hiccup there, Lawso with just a little bit of a slight, couple extra turnbacks to get up top there, but nothing too shabby so far. Now we see the Hammer Bro that you saw over on Lawso's screen walk up and to the left, walked over to the right on Horsedad's screen. That Hammer Bro is a music box, which our runners are going to more than likely try and avoid. However, there is a hammer that the other Hammer Bro has in this world, and that is a very important item it has is it lets you skip stages. And if one of our runners gets lucky enough, they might actually get that hammer a little bit earlier than intended and use it here in World 2 as opposed to later on in World 4. But we'll see if that happens for either of them.
Is there any kind of fancy name that we give that when you happen to get that hammer early?
If you get the hammer early, we have a really fancy name. It's kind of hard to understand. It's called Early Hammer. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great name, actually.
Right? We're super creative in the Mario 3 community with our names for things. So we see Horsedad wrapping up that Boom Boom kill. 5 fireballs really quick. Just about every Boom Boom in this route you will see with a fire kill. There's a couple that get jump killed, but for the most part, you want to use that Fire Flower just to take out Boom Boom as quickly as possible. In general, really, Fire Flower is the kind of optimal power-up to have at any one time. We see our runners going through T. I thought Lawso might try this. He's going for a strat that is actually pretty difficult to pull off. By taking this red shell, if he can take it all the way to the end here and kick it through, yep, you can see how fast that red shell is just rocketing through the blocks. It does save just a tiny little bit of time over the normal strat that we saw Horsedad execute. So very nice there. So Lawso knows which Hammer Bro is that music box. Horsedad is not quite sure, as the music box went over to the right right away. Luckily, there's been some somewhat new tech that's been discovered that kind of allows us to tell which Hammer Bro is which. Horsedad will actually be watching which way these bros face once they stop moving, and he'll be able to tell which one is the hammer because it'll face to the left. So really cool stuff. Actually really is a big, big help in Warpless, as it kind of removes a lot of the guessing you have to do with some of the Hammer Bros in this route.
Nice, and the hammer came right to Lawso.
Yeah, so we'll see Lawso. We see Horsedad going through 2-5 now. We see Lawso might go to 2-4. 2-4 is a slightly faster stage, but it's pretty even. But in general, most runners will just kind of go to the stage that kind of lets them follow that hammer. So Horsedad decided to go to 2-5 because he wasn't really sure which way the hammer was going to go. As you see Lawso making
quick thinking with that fireball.
Yeah, real quick thinking there to not lose that fire. And Horsedad's moving his way through the pyramid. This is one of the really early, really technical stages. He's doing quite well so far. There's a slight hiccup with that third wall, but overall really solid. We'll see if Lawso can match it. Yeah, to answer your question, that whole tech about knowing which way the bros are facing, like telling which one it is, was actually found by a viewer. It wasn't even found by a runner or tasker or anything like that. Just an every average day viewer said, "Hey, I think that this bro always faces to the right," and we kind of looked into it and we're like, "Oh wow, like this is something we just never noticed in all the years we've been doing this." So, moving on to the World 2 airship now, we see Horsedad with a slight advantage, but Lawso is right there with him. So really close so far.
World 2 King has been turned into a spider, so our only options are change him back or burn the castle down.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, World 2 is already a desert, so if you just like started the whole castle on fire, it wouldn't really.
Oh yeah, it's
big
moments
of a
away.
Loss. Yeah. So I can understand really either option. I think beating the airship's probably a little bit faster though. I don't think anybody's looked in to see what's more optimal yet.
I think it's time we seriously considered that as an option.
I mean, we might as well take a look. What's the worst that could happen?
I expect to see some fire kills, at least one.
Yeah, Horsedad should know the pattern he's on. I'm not sure exactly where Lawso came from. I think he came from Pyramid, so he should also know. The way that Koopa Kid patterns are kind of decided is based on the movement it takes you from the stage you just completed to the pipe to get to the Koopa Kid. Now, obviously, since you have just a nice little auto-scroller in between the level and the pipe, it's really just about the amount of time that you get from Hammer Brother movements and your own movement on the map. We see both runners Executing a jump kill there, maybe they just weren't sure about their kill or didn't want to risk it. As Morton kill, it's a little harder to pull off compared to some of the other fire kills. But yeah, we are still neck and neck. I think Horsedad was just a 1 to 2 second lead here.
World 3 is where things can get spicy in the run of SMB3 Warpless. We have levels like 3-2 and 3-3, and then we have the Hammer Brothers who could really do anything to throw a wrench in your plans.
Yeah, this world, honestly, maybe more than any other world, it's very important that the Hammer Bros don't give you a bad pattern. You'll see here once Horsedad finishes this stage that some bridges on the top right of the overworld will actually go from down to up. There's another set just off screen on the second half of the world that does kind of the opposite. And optimally, you want to clear out 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3F1, and 3-4, and both of those Hammer Bros in order to set the bridges up so that you can cross over 3-6 and go straight to 3-8. As we see Horsedad pulling off a very beautiful 3-2 P speed. That's a very tough strat to pull off, so well done there.
Yeah, that was flawless.
And we see Lawso with a pretty good non-P speed strat. I mean, any strat you do in 3-2, you're kind of worried. Oh, we see a runaway over on Horsedad's screen, so he's got a decision to make now, kind of what he wants to do to handle this. There's a couple of different options he could take. We'll see what he decides to go with as he moves through 3-3 here.
I remember in Horstad's last race, he did get the runaway, but he came back at the last moment.
Yeah, that is a thing that could happen. He's not gone for sure, but it's definitely seems like if that bro runs away, he very often stays away. So we'll see if Horsedad does get a little bit lucky here and gets that Hammer Bro back, or if he has a decision to make in terms of how he wants to handle this. So both runners going for the 6th door. There is a trick that you can enter into the 3rd door, and if you, on a single frame, re-enter the next door, it takes you straight to Boom Boom, saves a little bit of time, but it's pretty risky. He loses about 10 to 15 seconds if you do miss it, so neither runner going for it. So we see Horsedad fighting the hammer now. So if this Starbro does not come back, he's going to have to take an intentional death in 3-6. So meanwhile, we see Lawso going up to 3-4. I think the bros might have set up in such a way that he's going to do this stage first, just in case that bro looks like he's going to run away. It's a pretty common race strat. So
Yep. His top right bro was 1 space away, so this is just to see.
Yeah, just a precaution. And yeah, see, so there was a very good chance had he gone to that bro first and then did 3-4 that bro might have ran away. And
oh
wow,
my gosh,
the bro comes back for Horsedad. Wow, that's especially when the bro runs away like really early on in the world. That's really crazy to see him come back. So
I don't know who
really
Horsedad has paid off to have this kind of consistent luck, but
yeah, that's crazy.
You got a phone number?
So we see Lawso going back to take care of that other hammer bro, and now his bridges will also be set up correctly. He's going to just cloud over straight to 3-8. Of course, the one stage that it's very, very costly to die in is the one that has the Boss Bass, which is a one-hit KO. So both runners taking some precautions to make sure Boss Bass doesn't eat them. And it looks like they're both making out of it just fine. Horsedad has jumped the H. Very nice setup there to get that jump. Looks like Lawso taking a slight little adjustment there to make sure he's all lined up as well. Also gets the H jump. Really solid World 3s from both runners. I think really the only difference we're seeing here is just Lawso taking that precaution in order to not get the runaway, whereas Horsedad kind of getting the luck with the Hammer Pro coming back to him. Otherwise, they pretty much went stride for stride in this world.
Let's see. Horsedad grabs the anchor at about 14:27. We'll see about where our difference is. And also at 14:42. So we're looking at about 15-second lead so far.
Yeah,
which
not too
is
shabby, but that's really
not anything.
Really means very little, especially this early on with a lot of luck still having its say. And really, I feel like, Elliot, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like the strats really start to kind of pick up in terms of difficulty once you start getting into like World 4 and World 5 and onward. The first 3 worlds, usually not anything too crazy that can really destroy a run, but once you start getting into these worlds, you can really start losing a lot of time for mistakes.
Yeah, I do agree. World 4 has some... starts right off with 4-1. Very tight level to maintain P-speed if you decide to go that route. 4-3, which looks very technical, but honestly has become automatic for a lot of our runners just because we love that level. We practiced it a lot. 4-4, terrible level. One of my least favorite.
Yeah. I think a lot of people dislike that stage. We see Horsedad and Lawso both getting a fire kill on Wendy. Luckily, Wendy is one of the more difficult jump kills, but with that flat surface makes her a pretty easy candidate for a fire kill. So, good job for both runners there. But yeah, this is just kind of the start of every stage becomes a killer. There's really no gimmies anymore. Very nice P-speed get from Horsedad. That looks a lot simpler than actually it is. So you have to do a lot of manipulation of how the P-meter works in order for that setup to work.
Yeah, that was ultra clean.
Looks like Lawso going with a slightly older but a bit more safer strat and a bit more consistent in terms of getting that P-speed. Also able to get it, so nicely done there. See Horsedad moving into 4-2. Does a nice little fireball shot while grabbing the ice block and jumping all at once. Kind of clear that path for his P-speed.
I have no idea how you do that, for the record.
I just press B and A at the same time. I do a little bit of a different strat earlier, but I just press B and A at the same time, and a lot of times Morna shoots out a fireball. Just kind of seems
for
to
me,
happen.
the fireball will come out, but it always dies on the ice block, and I don't know how people get the bounce. Yeah.
Which one do you normally pick up? Is it usually the second one? I normally pick up the second one. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Oh, yeah, I think I do usually grab the second one.
I'm not sure. That's interesting.
Anyway, just thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. I'm curious. See, Horsedad with a very nice 4-3. As you said, very technical stage, but this is one that I feel like just about everybody really, really enjoys the stage, practices the stage all the time. This is a stage that I definitely use. Like, if I've got like 5 minutes to warm up, I'll just hop into 4-3 and just play it a few times because it does kind of give you a lot of different challenges. We see empty jumps there, letting go of the A button. We see crouch jumps, just all sorts of different things that kind of just instantly challenges all of your technical ability.
Yeah, I feel like aside from 1-1, 4-3 is a level that people want to learn when they learn how to run this game.
Yeah. So we see Lawso gets to his Cloud Bro a little earlier than Horsedad does. The second half of this world features a Star and a P-Wing Bro, as well as the first half of World 5 also features those two bros. And both of our runners are going to more than likely be looking for just one P-Wing out of the set of 4 there. So based on kind of how the bros are set up here, they might use a music box in order to put them to sleep and get past them, or they might decide to fight one of them and try and get that P-Wing here. We see Lawso
narrowly dodging that.
Oh man, I thought that was for sure going to be a sniperino, but able to dodge it, gets out of 4-4 cleanly. Let's see what kind of Lawso also deciding to use that music box to put the bros to sleep. Pretty common practice, I think, really, unless you're absolutely sure you can get away with just fighting that P-Wing bro. Most runners do elect to put them to sleep in World 4 and just press their luck in 5. But we see Lawso taking a hit in 4-6. He's probably not gonna go for this P-speed strat we're seeing Horsedad do here in 4F2. And he pulls it off very nicely there. He's probably gonna elect to grab the Fire Flower here at the beginning of the stage, especially with that little misstep on the stairs. So yeah, a little bit of time gain there from Horsedad, but otherwise, again, these runners pretty much going blow for blow, nailing strats very cleanly.
And just like last race for Horstead, I don't know if I've seen him make any kind of mistake yet. This is
he just
frightening.
He's just so incredibly smooth with everything and so consistent. That's honestly one of the most difficult things in this game is consistency. And he is one of very few people that has it. And we see a little bit of bad luck there, unfortunately, for Lawso. The Hammer Bro moved back up, and he did have to fight it. And it's a star, unfortunately, too, so not what he's going to want. He's not going to have a music box either for World 5, so he's going to have to be kind of at the mercy of the bros there. We see Horsedad picking up a specific number of coins that is not just a meme. That is for something we haven't really talked about yet, which is coin chips. Chuck, do you kind of want to explain coin chips and what they are?
Sure. In Worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6, if you finish a level and your coin count is the same digit, say 6, and your score ends in the same tens digit, 60, one of the Hammer Brothers will turn into a coin chip and move around the level the way a Hammer Brother does. And if you are forced to enter that level, you're on an auto-scroller that moves at the same speed as the one they're on now, which is half the speed of all the other auto-scrollers. It's just a huge waste of time. And usually the strat in that case is to try to crush yourself against the wall and one of the first platforms. Once you do that, it will change back into the Hammer Bro that it was before it changed. So just to avoid that, you mainly want to just keep an eye on your coins and your score, and don't ever let them sync up like that. And you don't want them to be 50 apart, say like 66 coins and 10, because if you finish a level on an odd digit on your timer, it will change it to the it will add 50 to your score. So that's your lesson on coin chips.
Thank you. Yeah, and you've expertly covered all of this in the time it took Horsedad to finally get out of the World 4 airship. That beautifully slow auto-scroller. It looks like a 2155 wand grab for Horsedad. We'll see what Lawso ends up with here as he moves into the Iggy fight himself. No, weird jumping Iggy. Iggy, one of those Koopa kids that sometimes kind of jumps really, really fast, and the game doesn't actually notice that Mario has jumped on top of his head and makes you take a hit. But neither of that happening for either runner. We see Lawso with a 22:28 World 4 timer there, so about a 30-second lead for Horsedad. He actually does take a hit at the beginning of 5-1 there.
He bleeds. He is a man.
So that's going to cost him a little bit of time here. There's one optional Fire Flower he could pick up here in 5-2, but it is a little bit slower. We'll see what he decides to do in terms of when he wants to get this Fire Flower back. Expertly avoids the Pit of Despair. This top section of 5-2, much, much easier and much, much faster to get through than the bottom section. So a big no-no is falling into that pit in 5-2. So it looks like Horsedad is going to elect to pick up fire probably in 5-7, which is a little ways out. Will cost him a little time in a few stages, but overall does end up being a little bit faster than picking up the Fire Flower in 5-2. See Lawso also making his way up above.
Yeah, Horsedad will lose a little bit of time here, having to jump kill the Boom Boom, which Lawso will be able to gain.
Yeah, it's kind of little things like that throughout the next few stages where Lawso will be able to just barely squeeze out a little time here. I haven't been paying attention to Horstad's Hammer Bros. I'm not sure if this is the P-Wing that he wants.
I'm not sure either. Yep.
Looks like it is. Okay, so he'll have to see if this other bro moves up or down as to whether or not he has to fight it. And a little bit of bad luck does move down, so an extra star here for Horsedad. As we see Lawso making his way through 5-3. I know it's one of his favorite stages, and he does it quite well. And we see, yeah, that little quicker kill there, saving him a little bit of time. And looks like Lawso's going to have about the same kind of luck here. Going to hope that that bro moves up so that he doesn't have to fight the star.
Ah, good luck. The game has repaid him for that World 4 star bro.
Yeah, so both of our runners kind of ending up with one extra bro so far. See, Lawso having a little bit of hiccup, but does nicely there to not get hit and keep his Fire Flower. Oh, and pulls off the old Sunday sequence break. Nice little trick to get into that pipe in reverse.
I think that's the first time I've seen it in real time.
I think Lawso has done it twice now. I think I called one of his earlier races and he did it as well. He's a big fan of that one.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of a lot of the swaggy tricks, for sure. You see Horsedad with a very clean 5-4 there. That last bounce over the Koopa at the very end is fairly risky. Does not save a whole lot of time. And as you can see, a lot of the stages up here in World 5, if you make any sort of mistake and fall, you pretty much die. So pretty big risk there, but Horsedad bowls it off nicely. We got word from the chat. All 3 races Lawso has pulled it off in. So
wow.
What an expert.
Beautiful. All 3 runners just had the Skybro run next to the castle too, I noticed.
Oh man. So that bro is a big big malcontent. Really does not like to be a nice guy. He likes to just kind of hang out down by that castle, give you those movements of 4 all the time. Instead of, you know, letting you fight him after like 5-5 or something and just getting him out of the way. Horsedad moving through 5F2 now, which is somehow has lava on the ceiling. I don't really know how that works, but Horsedad's not afraid of it. Moves through it quite nicely. So both of our runners, unfortunately, are just going to have to deal with that Skybro constantly moving after every stage. That's like, honestly, it's one of the most just annoying things when you see him run down there. Oh, and see, that's just icing on the troll cake for Horsedad. When it walks over by 5 and it's like, oh, I can't go any further. Guess I'll turn around. Oh no! it's like one of those things that just it puts gray hairs on your head.
At least they both do need to fight him. That's even worse.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Sometimes,
yeah, if you get that music box in World 2, you can try to skip this bro, but as you see, very few spots for him to go where you can really avoid him. So that's really why most runners will skip him in World 2. Not only is it a slightly faster fight, but it's just very unlikely that music box bro will decide to get out of your way. So we see Horsedad basically a Hammer Brother ahead here in World 5. I think Lawso did pick up a slight bit of time due to a couple of stages being a little quicker for him, but overall, these runners are just, they're just trading blows. Like, they're just going back and forth. Nobody's really made anything too crazy in terms of mistakes yet. Oh, the answer, we had a question in the chat about where the Sunday sequence break came from. It was actually a clip of that pipe glitch being performed was in like the intro for the Sunday sequence break. So that's why it was named that. Don't worry, it wasn't one of us that came up with the name. We're not original enough for that.
No. We have things like early hammer and H jump.
You jump an H. What more do you want?
Call it? We do have the sexy slide, though, even though you won't be seeing it in this category.
Yeah, not in this category. Only in the good category, 100%.
Didn't SMW try to steal that?
They stole that. They stole that trick name. It was actually your race. Your race with Cujo at SUDQ 1938, whatever year that was, a billion years ago.
It was a while ago.
Mr. Cab and Author Blues, two people we're both familiar with, when I mentioned it or Sky mentioned it about one of you guys doing the sexy slide. They're like, "Oh, we're stealing that trick name," and they stole it and put it in one of their own levels. And I let them know that they have stolen that trick name constantly.
Ah. Well, I mean, what is it? Imitation is the best form of flattery. Something.
Yeah,
to
I
that
think
effect.
I think they're just jealous that you don't have to like fly through 37% of the stages in this category. You see, meanwhile, there's a race going on. I guess we could talk about it. Horsedad using a hammer, skipping past 6-1, 6-2, and 6-3. That Hammer Bro feels kind of bad that he's out of hammers now, gives him another one, and he'll be moving on to 6F1. So Horsedad playing it a little safe there. You can jump a little earlier and get onto those spikes, but decides to play it safe. If you short that jump by just a little bit, you die. So kind of a risky maneuver. But he's going to take this star, hopefully take it all the way to the Boom Boom fight, and in one fell swoop, just knock Boom Boom straight out.
And now we'll watch Lawso do the same.
So our runners did fight that Hammer Bro, that it gave them a hammer. There's two other bros in this world. One of them contains a star, the other has a cloud. So obviously our runners are going to be looking to fight that cloud, looking to avoid that star if they can. And this is another spot where being able to tell which bro is facing which way is very, very nice. Because you can tell a lot easier which way the cloud is, as opposed to before when we kind of had to track their movements. Oh, we see a marathon over on Horsedad's screen. Not too long. I've seen longer marathons in this tournament. So what happened there was the bros decided to move to the same spot, and then bros will not move to the spot that they just left when they move again. So they kind of just kept selecting the same spot over and over again, and just kept walking onto the same spot together. Meanwhile, we see Horsedad pulling off a very beautiful 6-5 despawn there. Despawn one of the nippers up at the top in order to avoid having to take the Koopa shell up. We'll see if Lawso can replicate. There's a few different strats that you can do in order to get that despawn. Basically, the overall general gist is you want to have an ice block or two on screen, and you want to kind of run down that slope. And that just kind of causes the game to just have way too many sprites going on when it tries to load the nippers, and so it'll despawn one of them.
Solid despawn from Lawso as well. Horsedad moving into the Ice Fortress.
Really clean there. This is a stage that kind of tests your ability with the tail. As you can tell from the run, most times you do just kind of avoid having that tail because it's overall a little bit slower. But that's a stage that really challenges you to use that flight mechanic well. We see a little bit of bad luck there from Lawso. Unfortunately, that Star Bro ran directly in his way, so nothing he can do about it. Unfortunately, does have to fight it. Oh, we see a little misstep here from Horsedad.
Uh-oh.
He was meaning to save that P-Wing until the next stage. I'm curious to see what he does here. I'm wondering if he might just take an extra hit. I don't know if that hit was intentional or not. Oh, he's got to be careful here. Make sure he gets to the end of the stage. So, one thing he could do here is wall jump 6-9 and kind of make up for that used P-Wing. But we'll see what he decides to go with here. As we see Lawso clearing up 6F2. Keeps his tail here. He's likely just going to take a early damage boost here in 6-8 to build his P-Speed. Yeah, we do see Horsedad going for this wall jump.
I have a feeling if he had left 6-8 with Large Mario, he would have gone to 6-10.
Oh, sure,
to
right.
do his fire grab strat that he's been a fan of lately.
Yeah, you kind of have a couple options. A lot of times they don't show up. It's usually because of Hammer Bro luck, but with that little misstep using that P-Wing early, Horsedad kind of having to think on the fly and come up with a strategy here.
Got the wall jump just a few tries, though. That was very good.
Yeah, it didn't take too long. That is a more or less pixel perfect, frame perfect trick. I don't know. There's debate on how many pixels you might actually have, depending on your jump. But getting that actual wall jump is frame perfect, so pretty difficult strat, and Horsedad was able to get it. But that does leave a little bit of room for Lawso to catch up. As we see Horsedad wrapping up the Boom Boom kill here in 6F3, he'll be on his way to the airship. Also, going for the clip, unfortunately, doesn't get it. That is a sub-pixel perfect trick, because this game decided it wouldn't get hard enough with the clips. It has to make them sub-pixel perfect. But
those of you who watched Cujo's race earlier got to
I saw that he got that clip. That's pretty sick.
That was really something.
I was actually practicing that before the race and got it like once or twice, but didn't get it in the race itself. But that's one of those ones that you go for it and you're like, well, maybe. You can't really have any idea of whether or not you're gonna get it. So, all right. So World 6, King has been turned into a seal, and I think we've already decided that dog you would stay. Would you stay being a seal if you were turned into a seal?
I mean, juggling is a cool trick, but killer whales.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot you got to deal with being a seal. You got to deal with poachers. You got to deal with killer whales. You got to deal with other seal problems. I'm sure there's quite a few. Heidi Klum, a little bit. When she's not having a good day.
It took me a second.
Horsedad moving down into the Lemmy fight. Luckily, this one's pretty straightforward. Just nice and easy jump kill. Very important that our runners do keep their big as they move on into 7-1. It looks like a 36-13-1 grab for Horsedad. Lawso not too far behind. I think Horsedad did gain a little bit more time here, mostly just due to the extra hammer bro that Lawso had to deal with. I think overall Lawso's execution was a little bit cleaner than Horsedad's there. Oh, Lawso getting some Lemmy shakes there. Lemmy blessing the run. But now we have the 7-1 clip.
Oh, yeah.
How many tries do you think our runners will have? I'm thinking like 4 for Horsedad. And like 3 for Lawso. You can't call... Okay, you can't call 5th try for Horsedad, no, because he's already in.
I'm going to say 5th try for Horsedad. I'm calling mac and cheese for Lawso.
What a legend. Oh, okay. All right. Call in the mac and cheese. Oh, looks like Lawso might have gotten some pixel there. Gets in 3rd try, so Lawso making up a little ground here with a little faster clip.
Hey, that was your guess.
I was partially right. I was 1 off total, but no, I said 4 for Horsedad, so I didn't go over. So I think I probably win Price is Right rules here.
Yeah,
Horsedad using that star there. Thanks, man.
I wouldn't give you the car, but
that's fair. Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
Okay, I'll take a toaster. I could use a toaster right now. But we see our runners using the star to kind of build P-speed and using that P-speed to clear this long gap there that the game normally wants you to kind of go down and hit some music note blocks and kind of go around to get up there. So it's quite a bit of time if you can just clear that with P-speed. So well done from both runners there. You see Horsedad making his way, we think, through 7-3. 7-3, one of the easier stages in the game. I say that as somebody who has died in this stage in a very important marathon run. But Horsedad plays it quite nicely.
Maintaining about a 1-level lead over Lawso right now.
You see Horsedad clouding over 7-4, a super long underwater auto-scroller, which clearly something you don't want to play. Using a P-Wing here in 7F1, this is kind of one of those puzzle stages where the game wants you to find the Tanuki suit somewhere in the world and then use it to fly up to the plate, but obviously faster strat is to just use a P-Wing and fly straight up. And if you miss the P-Wing noise, don't worry, it's coming back.
So while the racers are doing these automatic levels, what kind of late World 7 strats do you think we'll see? I
know Lawso was kind of debating whether or not what he wanted to do, if he wanted to go for the 7-9 clips or try 7F2. So our runners have 1 more cloud left, and they'll probably use it to cloud either 7-9, 7F2, or 8F. 8F is the fastest, but can be considered kind of one of the more risky options. You'll see a lot of runners doing it either with 7.9 or 7F2. I actually don't know what Horsedad's done in his previous races. I know Lawso has clipped 7.9 and clouded 7F2. I'm not sure what Horsedad has been up to in terms of his routing. So you see him pull off a very nice 7.8 there.
I feel like he clouded 7.9 and played the Ford. That's what I feel like I remember.
That is the I think technically slightly faster. Yeah, we do see him clouding 7F9, but this is very risky. 7F2. Pretty unforgiving stage. You see lava kind of everywhere. And if he takes a death here, if he takes a death here, he will have to go back and play through 7.9, which he just clouded over. So a little bit of a risk here for Horsedad. We'll see how he plays it. Plays it safe there, grabs that extra mushroom for just to be absolutely sure. Pretty solid call, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
You might not have seen it, but the Horsedad actually did a little crouch there in order to get under that little one tile block instantly. And we see Lawso does decide to go to 7F2 here. Gotta be careful with that. That star is honestly super hard to grab. You have to be like off the edge, but not too far off the edge, otherwise it'll just fall in the lava. So Lawso able to get it. Does keep his mushroom, so he'll be able to get into that second room a little faster than Horsedad did.
Yeah, that was extremely well played after grabbing the star. Didn't get trolled by the boom boom slide.
Yeah, that boom boom occasionally will just like shift suddenly to the left after you hit him, which is really weird. I don't know if anybody's really figured out exactly what causes that, but of course one of the boom booms that does that is one of the ones that you are small when you fight. It can't be one where you're big anyways, and it doesn't matter. It's got to be the most like stressful boom boom fight in the entire run. It can just suddenly go awry. But both runners moving into World 7 airship, which is the longest level in the run. This is a 2-minute plus long auto scroller. Even though it does scroll at normal speed, it's a little more than twice as long as a World 4 auto scroller. But one nice thing about it is that there's 2 power-up boxes. Both of them contain fire flowers, so our runners can get to that power-up that they want, basically from anywhere coming onto this ship.
Stream, please.
I mean, luckily we're just missing auto-scrolling.
Yeah. And since we have an auto-scroller here, just to go back to the previous topic of the boom boom slide, there have been some times where I've noticed that when you start the fight, he'll do this little hop and kind of bounce off the block that's right next to him.
Okay.
And I feel like when he does that, it's kind of a setup for the slide.
Oh, sure.
You'll stomp him, and he'll kind of
and then he'll want to slide.
Momentum.
That could be, yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
I haven't played 7F2 in quite a bit. I've been doing the 7.9 clips in my routing, so I haven't really experimented with that boom boom fight in a while. But that could be. It could definitely be just kind of like a leftover movement that he's trying to do. That would make sense. But Horsedad is our first one into the Ludwig fight. Looks like a 43-11 wand grab, so pretty solid there. Does a good job of avoiding the quakes that Ludwig can do. But also not too far behind, about to enter the fight himself. And if you are thinking after this World 7 auto-scroller, man, if only we could just do the same thing 2 more times, have I got some great news for you. We've got 2 auto-scrollers to kick off World 8.
Yes, I was hoping you'd say that.
I know, right? Whew. Looks like a 43-40 wand grab for Lawso. So about if I can do math, 29-second lead for Horsedad. And while that might seem a little substantial, there is something in World 8 that can drastically alter the course of a run. You want to talk about it, Chuck?
That's right. The hand levels. After the second auto-scroller, the Navy, they'll enter a pipe and face a bridge of portals. And every time you step over one, there's a 50% chance that a hand could grab you and force you to play that level. So there are 3 of these levels, and if my math is correct, That is a 1 in 8 chance of either getting all 3 or 0 hands. And each hand takes approximately 20 seconds. Some are slightly longer, some slightly shorter. But you can see the potential for changing the lead when a race is this close.
Yeah, this is absolutely a race that hands can flip this on its head immediately. And if you want to take a chance at gambling on the misfortune or fortune of our runners, we do have a little game in the chat. You can take a guess as to how many collective hands we see from both runners. So more than likely, we're going to see either 0 to 6, but it is possible that somebody could die on a hand and get re-grabbed by that same hand. That would count twice. So we have seen more than 6 in a couple of our races, but I'm guessing from these runners, we'll probably only see 0 to 6. So get your guesses in the chat right now, and we will close that off once looks like Horsedad enters into that first screen. I say probably no one will die as somebody who died on a hand not just like 4 hours ago. It can happen to anybody, right? That's the right. Everybody dies on hands, not just
everybody,
me, right? Yeah, it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Did both runners get rangless? I saw Lawso just did. I think Horsedad might have as well.
I didn't see Horstad's.
Yeah, there's a little bit of luck there. You can actually, depending on the pattern... Yeah, okay, they both got it. Depending on the pattern that boomerang bro gives you, you can actually hit him with a fireball before he throws the boomerang. And normally you have to wait for the boomerang to go off screen for the box with the star to spawn, but if you kill him before he throws it, you just get that box right away. It does save a couple of seconds, so both runners with a little luck there. Streamer, why don't they swim underneath the boats?
Well, we have an important thing to mention. What we just saw Horsedad do is called boat swag, and that is a complex, highly complicated strat that manipulates hand.
Tons of manipulation going on. He's hopefully going to get no hands because of that. That's all. It's definitely not a superstition at all.
And also, we don't swim under the boats because, well, you can get stuck underneath them, and it kills you.
Yeah.
And also, if you swim under the last boat, you can't get into the pipe that early that you just saw Lawso do. You have to swim around and jump up the back of the boat that wasn't even on screen yet. So there you go.
We see the second hand for Horsedad. He also gets the third. Lawso about to move on to the screen. We'll see what kind of luck he gets here. Gets grabbed by the first hand. So we've got 2 for Horsedad. We'll see how many Lawso ends up with here.
Man, Lawso has all the swag.
Ooh,
did you see him clip into the ceiling?
Hand. I did. I've tried to do that. I can never pull it off. He's really good at it, though. He does it all the time. I gotta figure out the secret for that swag.
I never seem to get high enough.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what his secret is. Gotta learn the strats to get to that jump. So we see a second hand from Lawso. Oh, and unfortunately, all 3 hands for Lawso. So Horsedad with the slight edge coming out of the hands saves an extra about 20 seconds due to some better luck. Meanwhile, he's moving through the fast airship that is no joke. You can definitely lose a power-up or die if you're not paying enough attention. But, looks like Horsedad cleaning out the rocky wrenches with his fire, nice and easy, and gets through.
Horsedad about to enter some tough levels. The Dark World levels, 8-1, 8-2, and the Fortress. 8-1, not a favorite? Glib?
I thought we said we wouldn't talk about this. Yeah!
And
it's a hard stage, man.
Yeah. It really is. And Horsedad took a hit, lost fire, and
yeah. So he's without fire now. Does have a chance to get that back in 8F coming up. But yeah, it's one of those stages where the P-Speed build is very precise no matter how you do it. And after you get that P-Speed, there's a lot more going on too. So like just the entire stage is very, very demanding. You see Horsedad taking a little easy here in 8-2. If you have a Fire Flower or a Hammer, a lot of times you can use some very precise shots to clear out those Piranha Plants. But Horsedad really wanting to preserve his big here. I guess he just really wants to have that as he moves into 8F to get this Fire Flower right away. Here's where Glib died in 8-1. Here's where Glib died in 8-1 again. Here's where Glib also died in 8-1.
Lawso having a very clean 8-1, thankfully, though, and we'll move on.
Nice there from Lawso. Did Horsedad not pick up the fire? Wait, what?
Whoa, what is he?
I looked away. I was looking at because I thought he was gonna.
Someone's hacked into Horsespot 9000.
I'm very confused on what's going on here. Luckily, there is another Fire Flower there, but he's gonna have to do a second P-switch timer. Does lose a little bit of time. Does pull off some swag in the meanwhile, clipping through the wall into the Boom Boom fight. Okay, so he just didn't grab the Fire Flower. Okay, yeah. So yeah, normally you want to grab that earlier Fire Flower. Obviously, it's much faster, but Horsedad must have just been in straight execution mode, just kind of missed over it, but is still going to maintain the lead.
Yeah, it's possible with the star animation. He wasn't thinking that he didn't already have fire, since he looked the same as if he did have it, and it didn't really cross his
you can't
mind.
really tell what you have. You can tell if you've got a leaf, but otherwise, Big Mario, Fire Mario are looking exactly the same.
All right, very, very fast and clean Fortress from Lawso.
Yeah, Lawso's executing World 8 very nicely. Unfortunately, had some bad luck, but his execution has been really stellar. We see Horsedad not a subscriber to the strat that makes this the absolute easiest level in the game. Lawso's not doing it either. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in both of these runners here.
I bet this strat has a good name.
It does, actually, because I made it. So I made sure it had a good name. There's a strat on this stage. You can actually just hang out on the right side, just spit your fireballs out constantly. Jump anytime it looks like you need to jump. And I've named it I haven't only named this, like a bunch of people have, but it's now the world-famous, patented Oglib Super Tank Strat TM with a Vengeance. Also, Day 1 affiliate is in there somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, pretty easy auto-scroller, kind of the nice tense build-up to Bowser's Castle. We see Horsedad rolling into Bowser's Castle. Very difficult final stage. We'll see how he does.
For the first time this tournament, we'll have a race time greater than a 52.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
It honestly is.
Looks like he's got the setup to maintain his P-Speed into the statue room. Some very clean jumps here to make it through with P-Speed. And he is 35 fireballs away from victory. He's a little on to the right there. Oh, and he gets the option select. Oh, I was just about to say, he's a little over there. Sometimes it seems like if you're kind of on that right side... Oh, he takes another hit. This is going to get scary.
Goodness. Oh my gosh!
Oh, and he takes a duck!
Oh my gosh!
And Lawso is in the lead. Wow. What a crazy turn of events.
I did not see that coming.
I didn't either. Wow, that is insane. Horsedad is trying his absolute darndest to get through this stage and get back to the Bowser fight, but it's all on Lawso now.
And I know Lawso has the stream open, and so he knows, and his heart's got to be beating out of his chest right now.
And Lawso does not get shot by a Bowser on his way up.
Lawso wins.
Clear it out. And wow, Lawso's going to take this victory, and I think this might... Oh no, this isn't quite a PB form with the 3 hands, yeah. But very well executed run. I think just luck kind of got him out of that PB.
What a race we just witnessed, you guys.
But Lawso has finished in first place with a race spot time of 54:24.
If that doesn't show you that you should never count yourself out, or give up, this race was the example.
Wow. Yeah, that was what, like, it is never over until it's over in this game.
Huge GG to both of our runners.
With a 55:04.
I'm doing that. Quit yelling at me.
We'll try to get these guys in here to talk about what we just witnessed. This is a crazy, crazy ending. I think we've got Lawso in here. Welcome and congratulations.
What just happened?
Bowser happened.
Divine intervention.
Like, I went from mad because hands cost me, I don't think a 52, but a really low 53, to what?
Yeah. It came down to a bad Bowser pattern.
Yeah, no kidding.
Horsedad,
like, I feel so, like, I feel bad for Horsedad. Like,
because that's to kind of explain what happened there in the first place. So that normal strat you saw is you get up on top and you kind of inch your way over to the left just a little bit to set up to spam fireballs, and it's kind of just, I don't think we've ever really figured out exactly what does it, but sometimes if Bowser just shoots that fireball at just the right time, he'll hit you and you lose your fire. And I think might have been a little bit of panic there from Horsedad, just kind of not, because you're not used to the jump kill when you have to happen, especially under a situation like this. So I think it's a little bit of an error there from Horsedad. Unfortunately, does cost him the race. But GG Lawso, I think you, like, I gotta say, you executed really, really well. You played really fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
no, I wasn't running splits, but I'm pretty sure that World 7 would have been a gold split, and I think the World 5 might have been.
Yeah, I think just about every world were like, well, like maybe one or two things here, but like pretty much you guys you're right on it, on top of each other the whole time. So it's a really fantastic race to watch.
The fact, and that was kind of all I really wanted coming into this. Like, I had no aspirations to win this race. Like, but like, I was like, coming out of World 7, I was actually really happy that I was only like 28 seconds behind.
Yeah, you were on really, I mean, you both obviously were on really, really good pace coming out of World 7. So
yeah, yeah, that 7.42 is absolutely terrifying. But
and you nailed it.
We were talking about what you were planning to do, because I know you were kind of up in the air before the race on what strat you wanted to go for. But yeah, you nailed 7F2.
I started struggling with the star, and I went, okay, this is how it ends. This is how the race ends. I'm gonna die trying to get this star.
Did you hold your breath through the entire first room?
Oh, dude, I didn't start breathing until halfway through the airship. I don't think my heart started beating until Ludwig was dead.
It was, well, the whole race was just, it was so close and so well played. It was a lot of fun to watch and commentate.
Yeah, no, it was, like I said, I was really happy with my performance, except for, why did I music box in 4?
Yeah, like, I thought maybe you knew that other one was the P-Wing, perhaps.
Nope. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna music box this, and as soon as I use it, I went, he's gonna get in the way now.
Yeah, so that's one of those situations where, like, you either have to fight a bro and then hope the star doesn't get in your way, or you music box and hope the bro doesn't get in your way. When that one spot for the star to be in is a really tough call. Yeah, whatever you choose, you can kind of mess up your run. So it's kind of pick your poison. In
fairness, I don't think it mattered. I think I came out with the same number of bros had I just like ended up fighting both of them in 4, which probably would have been what happened had I not boxed.
Yeah, it might
because
yeah, it
I
might have.
only fought the P-wing in 5. Like I got a little bit like that was the only bit of luck in the entire run was the Starbro went up.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing else.
Yeah, you had World 6 run into you. You had World 2 halfway troll you by getting in your way, you had to go up and around. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, you did have to deal with quite a lot of bad luck.
Yeah,
So,
the World 5 bro got in front of the just
yeah,
made
both of you had
that.
the Sky Bro in the idiot spot. So
Yeah.
this is some
Like
rough
no,
stuff.
that
But,
was
yeah. Looking ahead, looks like you are going to be up against Cujo IHSV in the next round. Anything in particular you think you're going to work on in preparation for that match? Anything you want to, any strats you want to look at?
Let's find a way to get better Hammer Bro luck. I don't know. Like like I said, I feel like I played well. I feel like if I play as well as I did tonight, I won't lose to Cujo by 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, you had a really good race. I think, like you said, a lot of bad luck in that.
Yeah.
That time of a 54-24 is very deceiving as to how well you execute.
Oh yeah, take off the hands and you're sitting on a very low 53.
Exactly.
Low 53,
Exactly.
and I take away the 2 extra stars I had, and it might be a high 52. So like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm right there, but this
category,
man.
That's the category.
Yeah.
No matter how well you execute, sometimes the game just says no. So yeah, it's definitely something. But this is not the end of the road for Horsedad. As we did say, this is a winners round matchup. So Horsedad is moving down into the losers bracket. Looks like he's got a few matches to wait on before he has his next opponent. So either he'd be facing off against Stewie Cartman, Pro A, or Supersonic 71087. I was like saying his numbers. So he'll be waiting for one of those next competitors as he continues his tournament run. But looking ahead, I think we've got an actual kind of a late minute rescheduling run of this category. We've got Mr. Cab up against Booba over on Speed Gaming 3. We've also got a Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze tournament race going over on the main Speed Gaming channel. And if you're looking for action tomorrow, looks like there is a full schedule yet again. We'll see a lot of Celeste. I see a lot of Super Metroid. Both of those tournaments under full swing here. Looks like we've got one Super Mario Brothers 3 race at 10 p.m. I don't even know who's in that one. Is that yours, Chuck? Are you in that one? Are you racing tomorrow?
I'll have to check my calendar.
I'm pretty sure you are, because I'm pretty sure I'm commentating that one.
Okay, well, yeah, it might be me.
Okay, so that is, I can't tell.
When Chuck attacks, ladies and
I can't tell
gentlemen.
you're trolling me or not. It's
You don't have it open?
no, I just have the whole schedule
my bad. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's right. It is my race tomorrow night at 10 against Rupert.
Yeah, Chuck and Rupert, our final round 4 winners bracket match going on, and also some Mega Man X. Looks like there's some Link to the Past randomizer going on as well. So tons of stuff. If you are interested in any sort of speed gaming content, it will be here on the entire Speed Gaming family of networks. But I think that's gonna do it for us. Any final thoughts, guys?
Shout outs to the Sunday sequence break.
3
that
for
was
3 on the
beautiful.
Sunday sequence break. Loving that.
Shout outs to Good Subpixels.
Well, thanks again, Lawso, for the race. Thank you also, Horsedad. It was an absolute treasure to watch and commentate.
It really was.
I want to give another shout out to my partner in crime, Winchuck Attacks. A pleasure as always, sir.
Yes, sir. Let's not wait too long until our next one.
Indeed. And once again, big shout outs to all the folks over at Speed Gaming for hosting all of these races here, being ever so flexible with our rapidly changing schedule and all that. Huge shout outs to Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Shout outs to Tech.
But that's going to do it for us. Have a great night, everybody.
Yep. Good night.
Bye.